Hey everyone! So I actually just finished one of my finals. Today is day one, finals day one, and yeah, it went okay. Thanks for asking. But you know, when like you feel like you are gonna do well and you feel like prepared for it, but then when you actually take it, you're like, I don't know how it went or not. Yeah, that. I know taking final exams is terrible no matter what. I don't think I know a single person who looks forward to final exams. There are some things that I think can help people feel less nervous for them, because I know I, for one, have pretty bad test anxiety. Like, I just overthink things so much, and I know I'm not the only one. I know there's lots of people out there who feel exactly the same way. So, you know, I've been doing some research and I thought I would share some tips that I've read, and also tips that I myself, as a seasoned college veteran who has taken many finals, that I've learned that can maybe help you a little bit, maybe. If you want to take my advice, take it or leave it. I just want to help you. So I think one of my biggest tips, like I can't stress it enough, is review your notes daily. Don't cram. If you cram, I think you'll be like most people who cram, myself included sometimes. You're just gonna have a mental breakdown and start crying and stuff. Highly recommend that you're gonna know when your exams are, like at the beginning of the semester. So be prepared for that. Do at least a little bit every day. I think it helps your sanity as well if you're not just cramming and studying for like 10 hours the night before the test. Like, that is not a good way to study. I promise you that. I know from experience. Yeah, just study a little bit every day and just like review and remember, and don't cram. It's not a good idea. Another really good thing that helps me, I think, is just making like a master to-do list of all the things you have to do between now and the end of the semester. And then what I like to do is, on every day, I will say, before I can go to bed, I need to get this done, and this done. So that way I have like daily goals that I set for myself, and so when I'm studying I don't have to like remember like, oh, what was I gonna do, because I have it written down. And then once you're done with the thing, then you just cross it off, and then you can cross it off on the master calendar. It definitely helps so much, and especially if you like to be organized like that, I think it's really beneficial to you to have something that sort of tells you all the stuff you need to do. So that way you're not going to go crazy. I think another thing that I've found that really helps when studying is to talk out loud. I do talk to myself quite a lot. That's kind of weird, but honestly, like reading your notes aloud to yourself, even you could maybe just like go in your bedroom and just like read it out loud. It helps you remember so much. I know there's probably some scientific evidence that supports that, but honestly, talking through your notes or your examples and just like explaining it to yourself really helps you remember. I do that quite often and it really helps, so I think you should definitely try that. Another really important thing I think is to utilize your teachers' or TA's office hours or review sessions, or both. I know some teachers are better at it than others. Some teachers might not really have office hours. There's not really much you can do for that, I'm sorry. But if you do have a teacher who does that, I highly recommend that you make use of their office hours, because then you can go in there and ask questions if you don't want to ask in class. You know, sometimes people are nervous about that. I'm quite nervous about that. Yeah, it's just really helpful to be able to have the teacher explain some things to you. And I know not every teacher is good at that. I've had some teachers who are like, you're just gonna have to look it up and figure it out, which really sucks. But you know, it happens. So But if you have a good teacher, I think it definitely helps a lot. Another good tip that I have is to maybe form a study group with people that you have made friends with in the class. But to be cautious about this, I don't want you to feel like you're teaching people who don't know what's going on, because then you're not really learning. You're just kind of helping someone who's behind. So I recommend doing study group with people who you're kind of like intellectually in sync with, sort of like at the same level. However, sometimes I do find it useful to teach it kind of like at a base level to other people who might not happen. This has happened in anatomy before. It was in a study group with some people and they didn't really understand a concept. So I basically explained it to them and that helped me study. So it was kind of like dual helping, dual purpose. So I think it's okay in that respect, but you don't want to put yourself behind just because someone doesn't understand it. Like, it's not really your problem. Like, you do you. And I think another really good tip that I've learned through experience is that you need to know when enough is enough. Like, obviously, if you've been studying for 5 minutes and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm gonna put it away. Like, that's not what I mean. I mean, like, you can only go over the material and your notes and your study guides and reading so many times before it gets to be too much, and then you feel like you're questioning yourself and stuff. That has happened so many times. I can't even tell you how many times this has happened, where you just feel like, I don't even know, like everything you've learned might not be true because you're overstudying and you're overthinking it too much, which you definitely don't want to do. Like, you gotta trust your instincts, man. Trust them. Yeah, so those are some study tips that I have learned from personal experience, have helped me tremendously, like, improve my study habits, because I do not have very good study habits. Take it or leave it. They're there if you want them. Also, if you have any other really good study tips, I would love to know, so leave them down below and I look forward to reading them, and maybe I'll use some of them because, you know, nobody's perfect. Yeah, so happy finals to anyone who's taking finals. We can do it. It's okay. Just want to leave a little reminder that, you know, finals isn't everything. Like, everything's gonna be okay. Okay, that's enough of that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye!